Okay, so just as a little bit of a rapid fire, when I say you're bigger than your problems, when I say you're stronger than your problems, there's a couple of series beneath that. Number one, the problem is not going to break you. The problem is not going to break you. This is not going to. You're just not going to break. Okay, it's not going to break you. It very well might damage you, but it's not going to break you. Okay. Number two, it's not going to end you. Okay, that's really important. This is not going to end you. This is not going to be the ending. This is not going to be any sort of deleting oneself or ending oneself or the situation ends you. It's not going to happen. Then number two, you can adjust. Number three, you can adjust. You can adjust to whatever the problem was. Maybe the problem is, you're eating too much. Okay, I'm going to adjust. I'm going to eat less. You can adjust. It doesn't matter how big it is. You need to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, this is a huge mountain I got to climb. Let me see how far I can get into it. You'd be surprised. I've surprised myself. And then once you've adjusted, then you learn from it. You learn what the root cause was. You learn what brought about the root cause. You learned how you dealt with it. You learned how to deal with it. And then you learn how to harness that lesson. That's really important. You've got to harness that lesson. Saying, I learned that if I do it this way, this is the outcome. You got to learn how to harness it. Because you can learn how to do something correctly and never harness it. That's no good. And then also you can move on. That this problem does not have to weigh you down or stop you for the rest of your life. It's okay, you had this situation. I'm still going to carry on and live my life. I'm going to live it to the best of my abilities. And then last but not least, you're going to integrate it. You're going to say, this problem is now a part of me. This problem is a part of my life. This problem is a part of my story. And I've been able to tell the story in a way so that the problem doesn't get the last say, that the problem doesn't get the final answer, the problem doesn't get the final swing at bat, if that makes sense. That I'm not ashamed of this problem. I'm happy I was able to overcome it. I'm proud I was able to overcome it. And I'm never going to hide from that. So, it's not going to break you. It's not going to end you. You can adjust. You can learn. You can harness that lesson. You can move on from the problem, and then eventually you integrate the problem. So now you're more whole and more cohesive after the fact. And you also learned about yourself too, and you learned about the world. To me, that's pretty good. So it's not going to break you. It's not going to end you. You can adjust. You can learn from it. You can harness the lesson. You can move on from the problem, and then you can integrate the problem. So that it's not, at that point, is it really even a problem at that point? Saying, look, that was a situation I learned from, or that was a situation I did my best with. It didn't stop me. It didn't end me. It didn't define me. I get to define myself. I might as well define myself good, wouldn't you say? All right, guys. So each of those bullets are going to take a lot to go through. It's probably going to take a couple weeks to get through all of this, but I'm looking forward to this, and I hope you guys are as well too. All right, guys. See ya.